Hello, this is Lada from astrolada.com, and this is your August 2021 video horoscope for anyone who is Sun, Moon, or Rising in Aquarius. And I have very good news for you, Aquarius. Jupiter is coming back to bless you, to make things easier for you, for us. It will be very supportive months for Aquarius. Just a quick announcement though, we're releasing the last course that Nikola Stojanovic ever left us, our great teacher. It's on predictive techniques. He uses his own predictive technique, and he was the most amazing predictive astrologer ever. That's what he was famous around the world with predicting big political presidents, ministers, future, and he used that method of solar return charts, and he's teaching it in a approximately 5 hour webinar that I'm releasing, and the proceeds will go to his family. This is the latest gift from our amazing beloved teacher Nikola Stojanovic, and he left us unexpectedly a bit, so hopefully this will help his family. And it's discounted for $150 for the next 2 weeks. After that it goes on full price, and I'll keep it on full price, I guess, forever, because this is unique material and there is nothing that is like it anywhere, and will be for the first, in this incarnation at least. So let's go, Aquarius. The good news is that Jupiter is coming back into your sign. For the last 3 months only Saturn stayed in your sign, and Saturn has been in Aquarius for a year almost. Started last April for a little bit, came out, and now since the end of 2020, it's been in our sign. And Jupiter moved out 3 months ago, so only Saturn stayed there. So, you might have felt a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit more down, because just Saturn was in your first house, a little bit more mature and serious. Sometimes even like a wet blanket, everything is just, you're becoming too serious, too responsible, too mature. I saw my first white hair. I mean, I can't complain. I'm 40, my first white hair, but as Saturn is, when it's in your sign, Sun, Moon, or Rising, it's connected with awareness about aging, with awareness about time is running out. So it might have made us feel a little bit like dried figs. Wet blankets for 2-3 months. Well, it was only Saturn in our sign, but Jupiter is coming back now. It will be retrograde in our sign, and it will stay there almost till the end of the year. So the good news is that it will bring some fresh energy, because Jupiter's energy is wet and moist like the spring. So it will hydrate a little bit our old bones. I've been feeling stiff and lazier because Saturn slows down everything, your metabolism, and you can feel like stiffening or coldness. So Jupiter will kind of warm things up a little bit in the body, in your mentality, in your overall, not only health, but perspective on life. You're gonna start feeling a little bit more positive, a little bit more optimistic. Saturn probably made a lot of you for the last 3-4 months or 3 months just feel a bit too serious about life, maybe more disciplined about themselves. And now Jupiter coming back into the sign says, okay, relax a little bit. You don't have to be so extreme. You can take it a bit easy. I'll help you. And even if there were some delays in your life, or feeling like life was on hold a little bit and very difficult with progress forward, Saturn retrograde in our first house, Jupiter coming back will say, I'll bring back some opportunities, and I'll bring some more joy into your life. Jupiter is joyful and more abundant planet, and more it's joy-giving wisdom. It might bring out opportunities that we've missed about knowledge or wisdom, to renew this, maybe opportunities to travel. If you've planned some travels, because Jupiter rules traveling, if you've planned some travels but you didn't get around to them or couldn't do them, now in the next 2 months, while Jupiter is retrograde in your sign, you have opportunity for that, to do it. Or if you thought, maybe I should study this, Jupiter is higher knowledge, but you never went around to study. Now Jupiter can bring those opportunities to enter to the right university, to get certain qualifications, but you've thought about that already. It's not something brand new that strikes you out of the blue. It's something you considered, you thought, oh, maybe some opportunity to study. And that's what I'll be doing. Jupiter enters retrograde in my first house, and I'm going to be teaching in a mysterious, very spiritual place. I've been planning, I really wanted to revisit those places, and I'll be traveling. I've been planning this travel abroad for a year now, and finally Jupiter goes retrograde. I'll be able to do it. Uh, and uh, some opportunities from the past will come to you, and those opportunities can be connected, especially in your case, because Jupiter rules for Aquarius, our second house and 11th house. They can be financial opportunities that come. Maybe you had an idea to expand your gains and income, or to get more out of your investment, or more out of your possessions. And valuables. Well, now you can implement it. Maybe you have something that is quite valuable and worthy, but you didn't make a profit on it till now, and now you can bring it out. Now you can give it a facelift and release it. And that's so correct as well, because I had this course of Nikola, something valuable, because Jupiter rules the second house, something valuable. I've had it for 3 years and I never released it. I don't know why, because it was from a retreat, and I was like, just the people from the retreat will see it. But since he passed away, so suddenly I'm like, this information is just so incredible. It's the longest course he's ever done, so I'm going to release it. And it's something that maybe you have as a valuable that you can receive. And now Jupiter comes retrograde in your sign, and you become aware of the opportunities, the possibilities of it bringing more revenue, or more value, or more gainfulness as well, or some old project, because it's the 11th house that Jupiter rules, and becoming retrograde into your sign. 11th house rules long-term goals and dreams. They can come back into your life, or something that you've been working as a long-term goal or dream. I've been working on a project for 2 years now, and hopefully when Jupiter enters back the first house, will kind of bring more ease into this project completions, putting final touches. So I hope I can bring it out to you by the end of the year, fingers crossed. But think in those lines. I'm giving you my life example, but you can translate it into your life with whatever uh, ways you want. And what else is it? Jupiter can coming, especially the later born Aquarians can feel it very strongly. Like they can feel so much more positive, excited, opportunities coming back to them, opportunities that they can benefit from. They can make them grow, expand, especially those born in the last 5 days of Aquarius. So from the 15th till the, so what is that, till the 13th, till the 17th, 18th, of February, if you're born, or if you're ascendant on the moon in the last 5 degrees, 25 to 30 degrees of Aquarius, you're going to really feel this expansion of Jupiter, those opportunities, feeling more joyful, more energetic, because Saturn only in your sign can make you feel like tired, drained. I don't know about you, but since Jupiter left our sign, which was in May sometime, towards the end of May, I've been so tired with Saturn only in Aquarius. I've been like sleeping twice a day for 2 hours. Crazy. I feel like a bear. Saturn is sluggish planet, slows us down a bit. And now Jupiter coming back, I'm like, I'm ready for a bit more energy and the joy of life, So well, let's hope, well, I know it will happen. So, and all right, so what else is you're gonna feel more confident as well with Jupiter. Of course, don't forget Saturn is the most predominant influence in Aquarius for another year after that. So, but for now, till the end of the year, from August onwards, almost till the end of the year, we'll have a booster shot, but of the healthier kind, Okay, so another good, just the first 5 days of the month are a little bit tense, because Saturn, which rules us traditionally, will be in opposition to the Sun and Mercury. So the first, the second, the third, the fourth, it's gonna feel a little bit more stressful. We might feel a bit more frustrated. There might be some clashes between you and other people, because the opposition is happening on the axis of me versus you. And it might be some tension with the partner. or with some authority figure or some demands that come to you from others. So you might be dissatisfied with someone. Just be more careful. If you have some important meetings, maybe such connected to work can go better because Saturn is very powerful, so work related. But for personal, more emotional connections, it can feel a bit dry or more not so easy. So yeah, be careful not to have clashes with people the first week approximately of the month. After that, it becomes much more smoother and nice. Strong focus on you, strong focus on your appearance. Jupiter can freshen up, enliven your appearance. It can bring more fat into your skin because Saturn can wrinkle you up a bit. Only Jupiter can bring a little bit more plumpness, and make you a little bit put on weight. But Saturn is stronger, so don't worry, you have control there, and you feel more energetic. Plus more confident in yourself. And then there is a new moon in your 7th house on the 8th of January, August. You see, I'm so tired. On the 8th of August, so it can be a renewal of your relationships. After the 8th of August to the end of the month, you can meet new people. You can create new business contacts, or you can attract new clients. You can have renewed inspiration because because new moons are inspirational. You can have more inspiration how to attract clients, how to for a new project to present to the public, or you can come opportunities for new contracts or agreements or collaboration with someone, or there can be a new beginning of some sort on a small level, not huge, but some new renewal of the life of your partner. If you have a partner, some new circumstances coming in their life, and an opportunity to renew your relationship, so to bring new people in your life. And it's quite communicative the first 10 days of the month with Mercury in your 10th house, some important conversation. It can be good for business as well. And then planets are starting to move into your 8th house. So there'll be a lot of 8th house activities for you, Aquarius. It's Mars is there from the beginning of the month and all of September almost. Venus is there till the middle of the month. What is the 8th house? The 8th house is intimacy. So that can be good for your intimate life. You see also trigger of your 7th house of relationships, trigger of your 8th house of intimacy and sex, especially by Mars. It can increase your sexual animal like charisma. And it can also create kind of more, and Venus there, Venus is more affectionate, so it's not just going to be this kind of sexual interaction, but definitely, oh, that's so good. I'd like that. I felt too deprived recently. So yeah, and intimacy can increase. Plus, the 8th house is the house of other people's resources and finances. So it can be quite beneficial that you become more initiative towards creating or more financial resources together with another, or your partner can become more initiative financially. Your partner can have some very certain more expenses as well. As a couple, you can have more expenses because Mars brings more expenses in the 8th house, like, so you might spend more as a couple. If you're a business partnership, you can spend more on a partner or on a business partnership, but at the same time, especially till the middle of the month, Venus guarantees that you can receive back as well. So if you have clients, you can receive more financially from them. If you have any kind of investments in something, you can see a lot of action activity there that's happening. Or even if you're in the stock market, you can see some rise, or your partner's resources, there is a lot of activity. Or you can see activity and quite more positive ability to influence positively matters regarding to insurances, inheritances, and taxes in the first part of the month, especially while Venus is there. After that, from the 15th, 16th of August, Venus moves out of there. So those matters, insurances, inheritances, taxes, mutual finances, help and support from others, you're still quite active in them, but it might not be as smoothly and as easy. But all such matters are really helped and uplifted in the first part of the month. And then Venus, and then 8th house is the house of healing as well. So there's the whole month, the 8th house is activated. either by Mars, then by Mercury, Venus, and then the Sun joins. And in September, this is another theme that you're gonna feel very strongly. Healing, and it's a psychological deep healing. And you can feel, especially when Mars transits once every 2.5 years. So it's a rare opportunity. Mars can speed the shedding off of the pain body, like an intervention, like a surgery, like it speeds up the chakras. The eighth house rules the chakras, so it can flush out the eighth house of detoxing as well, flush out the more toxic emotions and feelings. It can get more emotional though. Remember, August can be definitely more emotional for you, very deep psychological, emotional feelings, very deep sharing and intimacy, not necessarily sexual. It can be deep sharing of secrets with other people, with personal exchanges as well. But emotionally, you can be more profound, more intense. And to some of you, not for everyone, but there is a possibility of some kind of a fast healing. It might be even reach to the physical level, but it will be triggered by releasing certain volcanic emotion that's been stored of toxic feelings for a while. And the release might feel a little bit volcanic, a little bit intense, but you can find yourself suddenly that you're liberated, because it's a house, moksha house, the eighth house of liberation, that you're liberated from some burden, and it can lead to some psychological healing. Plus, the eighth house is our inner demons that keep us chained, that keep us maybe addicted, or that keep us in an obsessive mode. So you can have some great insight and very fast acting insight into breaking through some such kind of obsessive modes. And it's kind of a psychological, emotional, even physical healing, and breakthrough through our inner demons as well. But on another level, it's a darker house, so it can intensify the hidden activities of a person behind the scenes, activities that are connected to power games, power play, or even private secretive relationships of sorts. There is a possibility there, but it can spice up your sex life. You can do it in the right way. It doesn't have to be the dark way, with a bit more sexual experimentation there. You can also have a breakthrough if you work with a psychologist. This August and September, fantastic for that. Eighth house is a house where we bury our pain, our emotional baggage, and Mars is like a surgeon. Then Venus can make, especially till the first part of the month, the middle, that such kind of a breakthrough psychologically is not so painful. It's like having a sedative during an operation, let's say, like that. Let's describe it this way. So the transformation can be really powerful this month, August and September, for psychological, emotional, and some people might even actually have actual surgeries, because eighth house rules those things, or transformative surgeries of some sort, and but usually it's more on the psychological level. So you can have breakthrough with a psychologist, or even you don't need a psychologist. You might be reading something more profound, like astrology, like something occult, like psychology, and you can have some deeper understanding and fast working through those issues. And but of course, just to warn you, Mars in the eighth house tends to feel more emotionally intense, can make some power struggles as well possible. But the biggest breakthroughs and healings happen when it passes there. What else can I say about this eighth house? I guess we've mentioned, it's fantastic time if you want to deep dive into occult astrology, esoteric knowledge of some sort, hidden information. Well, that's what I'll be doing on my retreat. I'll be teaching astrology, eighth house, occult secrets, and some mystical experiences. Eighth house, the house of initiation. And some of you, if you're at that level, you can have like a little bit of this chakra starting to spin faster when Mars transits the eighth house, speeds up the chakras. You can have some kind of a mystical experiences, some small initiations into a mystical states. But usually the first step before that is detoxification and purification of the body, which is what the eighth house rules again, because it rules all the chakras, all the apertures of the body. So Mars can speed up elimination of toxins from the body. So good for anything, eliminating that. And if you eliminate enough, it can even allow you this kind of more of a mystical experience. It's kind of a sort of a mini initiation. I don't know. It's a short influence, but there's rarely kind of such clustering of planets in the eighth house. For someone else, it might be just like that they explore a bit more their subconscious and think on deeper topics and get more involved into conspiracy topics or into research and study and digging out private secret information. And for more scientific material people, usually some kind of a research that they do, digging deeper. And then from the middle of the month, Venus enters your ninth house, Aquarius, our ninth house. So that can be fantastic time from the 15th of August till the 10th of, I think 10th or something of September. Venus will be in our ninth house to travel, foreign places, or even short travels, because Venus will oppose the third house. So such things will be quite pleasurable. Travel, buying cars, or anything to do with relocating to foreign countries or foreign documents. It can happen with ease and smooth. Also, you might find a lot of pleasure and joy in learning from the middle of October. Sorry, from the middle of August. Venus is where we find pleasure in higher knowledge, or in teaching. And on the middle of August, I'll be actually also teaching on higher knowledge in a very sacred place, and ninth house rules sacred places. You might have some very beautiful experience in a sacred place. You might feel more inspired as well. You might find beauty. You might connect to God. Ninth house is God, the higher mind, through nature, Venus, or through beauty, through the beauty of nature, through the beauty of music and art. You can find such kind of experiences that you have inspiration. Plus, Venus is the planet of love. You can have more love, or you can meet love even traveling, or you can form a pleasant connection, not necessarily intimate, with someone from abroad or someone from a very different background to you. I think I'll make some new friends. Venus is people, especially women, that are from abroad and that were connected through like-minded knowledge and information. This higher knowledge. This is the ninth house. So hopefully, and you can create, even if you meet someone in love now, this can be someone who is a good dharma for you. If you meet someone when Venus is in your ninth house, it's a very good sign that this person is more of a dharmic relationship, even not sexually talking, even if it's just like a friend, because dharmic relationships are ones that align you to your true happiness. They're not karmic. You don't have to pay something to each other. You actually are helping in a positive way each other to achieve your potential. So yeah, if you're planning some kind of trips, do it then. Some higher knowledge learning, you can get some good answers from the middle of August. Some holidays in foreign places again after that. Acquaintances with foreign people, or even romantic experiences. You feel luckier, and you have more clarity about your love life when Venus transits the ninth house. And anything connected to teaching, higher knowledge goes swimmingly after that. And your confidence, ninth house is one of the self houses of clarity, confidence. You'll start feeling, especially from the middle of August, and already from the beginning, because Jupiter is entering back your sign, and then Venus will be in your ninth house, another self house of confidence and clarity. You'd feel more aligned, that things are flowing more. So enjoy that. Thank you so much, dear Aquarius. Do check out the course we have with Nikola Stojanovic, his last gift to us, which is on promotion for 2 weeks only ever. Thank you.